And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to the Market Reflection for Monday, January the 9th. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time, and we know how important time is. Hopefully you had a good trading day today. Some interesting things, opportunities, and possible changes in the markets today. I know I've had a very busy and distracting day. We've got a lot of activity going on in the house, apparently. We need a new furnace, so they're working on putting in the new furnace right now. Apparently there was perhaps a couple of cracks in the heat exchanger that could have been dangerous, so we are getting a new furnace today. So I bet my day has been more exciting than yours. What do we have going on? Well, we know that our equities closed, well, I think in most part higher. I haven't really checked on the NASDAQ here just yet. S&Ps did end up closing higher after giving back some considerable longs, some considerable gains today. Gave up most of it. The dog just got outside. She's back inside now. This is just crazy. As the distractions continue, I'm looking forward to a much calmer day tomorrow so I can focus more on the markets. We had crude oil close up about 86 cents today, 1.17%. We did have a couple of talking Feds, and those talking Feds had a lot to do with the turnaround that we saw in the equities today. A little disturbing look on the daily chart as well. We'll see those very shortly. Apparently, Mr. Bostic says rates will have to remain above 5% for an extended period of time well into 2024. So I think that was enough to kind of put a little bit of a chill in some of the thrill that we were seeing in the equities this morning. Daily is above 5% is absolutely likely for the peak rate, so some agreement there. And a little bit of a ray of sunshine and something daily said in Q1, I expect employment to slow and inflation to come down. So there's a ray of sunshine there as well. So again, we're going to see how these markets fared all this today in the charts. And crude oil really starting to look like it has set up a bear flag. We're going to see that as well. Again, it's always a pleasure to spend time talking trading with traders. Welcome, my trading friends and family. We've got the rooster here, cock-a-doodle-doo. Talk about a pump and dump today, right? How about it? Didn't trade on my funded account since it wasn't available until about 9 a.m. Starting fresh tomorrow. Rooster, start from zero. Follow your strategy, follow your process. Dance with the one you brung. You got here for a reason. You can continue, hopefully, to continue to succeed here. Vince, good afternoon. Andy Bleed, good afternoon. Caprice. Oh, Rooster, by the way, you were first one in the room today. You won the afternoon prize. George, good afternoon. Lacey is like a crazy dog right now because we do have people coming in and out of the house that she doesn't know. She thinks everybody is a new friend and they're all here to see her. My brother Rick, it is good to see you. Good afternoon. Love you. Hope you had a good trading day. Jimmy Decker, Bill Phillips, Haggle Matters, good JT Irby. Could have used your analysis this morning. Well, it's okay. Tried to fight the momentum and got chewed up, and then by the time you probably got finished chewing up, the momentum went your way, right? It always seems to be the way. We try until we can't try anymore, and then finally what we were looking for actually ends up happening. I've seen that movie before, JT Irby. Don't give up. Don't give up. Just, account for it and look for better opportunities, look for better outcomes next time. That's how we do kind of create our intuition, right? We don't have intuition when we first start at this. Everything we do is pretty much impulse. But as we get more knowledge, as we get more experience, as we see things happen, sometimes similar but never exactly the same way, we get a chance to build that intuition. That intuition is part of what makes it easier or more confident to get into trades. But definitely knowing the difference between impulse and intuition is a big part of being successful at this. And we know most people are not going to be. And those are probably the normal people, as Tom Hugard says in his book. Normal isn't going to work. For normal, we're doing what everybody's doing, and we know most of those are not going to succeed. So look a little deeper, work a little harder, think a little more in tune with what your direct competitors, what your other pea shooter traders are thinking, and maybe you can get better trade location and get better outcomes than most of them, of course, right? When I'm working with individual traders in personal performance coaching, my real goal for them is not to create $1 million traders. It's to be able to create traders that can maintain an account for a long period of time. The longer the period of time, the more they have the opportunity to continue to learn and grow. This is never going to be easy. We can't kid ourselves into saying that there's going to be some aha moment where we're going to be able to make money forever. No, it's always difficult. Speaking of difficult, let's take a look at the charts here. I want to start here with the daily and crude because we've got a 30-minute chart here that's looking kind of ominous for longs as far as one particular chart pattern is concerned. Let's take a look. So here's the daily chart. We know that we are in rollover. A week from tomorrow, we should probably be switching to the March contract. Wow, March, end of winter. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. Anyways, looking pretty strong this morning. Some information for, the China reopening and the economy opening and all that really put a goose into the pricing in the overnight session. But the overnight session, the regular trading hour session, saw the opposite, saw some sellers come in. No real delta divergence here, kind of congruent, but kind of small delta. But here's what we've got. We've got a bear flag forming. We started looking at that this morning thinking, are we really going to create this bear flag? I mean, we did have this kind of trend line, but we weren't able to accept above that at all. So we're going to watch this trend line carefully today and tonight and tomorrow for continuation to the downside. Here's the S&Ps. Here's the daily. All right. So, Friday we had a pretty decent move to the upside. Open interest was a lot smaller than the initial estimation. I think we only added about 1,600 to the upside. So it wasn't strong, really strong buying coming in. We were thinking, okay, we breaking out of balance. We can go the other direction. But it did not last. Either the talking feds or some sellers came into this market and have created excess on the daily chart at the high. We broke out. We're back inside range. Is this going to ring to be a failure of the breakout? Tomorrow is probably going to do a lot to tell us that. Here's the 30. Wrong 30. There it is. Everything gets switched around here. So the open, the gap close was supportive. We drove higher. I was really looking forward to seeing an opportunity up here at 39.90, which is weekly kickoff high, a naked point of control that goes right through a previous gap. Target rich environment up here, right? Didn't quite get there. The market turned, took out the low of the initial balance, and kind of closed on its patoot. Looks like it closed a little bit lower, actually. I think the NASDAQ did as well. So this is not necessarily good. We opened with a gap. We looked higher. We closed lower. A little reversal in that. Take a look at the NASDAQ. I would agree with that, Captain Price. Here's the NASDAQ. I want to go back and see that, Vince. Notice that we had checked the 200 session moving average. I'm thinking here on, yeah, we did. Wow, nice vision, Vince. 200 session moving average on the continuation chart. Put in our high. Where are those eyes when I need them, Vince? Vincent. So here we go. Here's the NASDAQ. I'll look above weekly kickoff high and failure. And failure. Open, continuation, failure, return. Well, at least the NASDAQ closed higher today, not the S&Ps. Gold. Again, attempted continuation, lower volume today. That I find interesting. Check out the 30. So our overnight, really, I mean, we just kind of extended the high a little bit. We just found some opportunity to digest higher pricing here. The last week's high continues to be somewhat supportive. Euro. Okay, finally we get a good close above weekly kickoff high. But again, more digestive than directional. What was volume like? Lower, weaker volume. Is that good for upside continuation? Is that good for a auction process? Not necessarily, but I do like the idea that we did close above that weekly kickoff high. Take a look at the 10-year now. Up near weekly kickoff high. Did spend most of the day above last week's high. Take a look at the 30. Okay. Just magnetic towards weekly kickoff high. I'm not touching this till there's some sort of direction seen above or back below the weekly kickoff level high here. And take a look at the natural gas. We saw that the excess was on the daily chart down here. The market did try and push higher. And again, somewhat unsuccessful, although we did kind of closed higher, barely closed the gap. So we got some kind of stuff going on here. There's still guys running in and out. My dog's going crazy. This is nuts. You know, looking forward to having it be nice and quiet around here tomorrow. So all right. Well, I get that, Vince. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So it is Monday. Are we looking for any important information tomorrow from the economic numbers? No, not really. Not really. Wholesale inventories at 9 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock, Chairman Powell does speak. Another talking Fed tomorrow. Who knows if there's any more that are going to pop up. I only see one on my schedule this afternoon. Wednesday, nothing really again. EIA petroleum status report. Thursday's the big day with CPI. If you remember last CPI number, it was like a rodeo. So we'll see if that happens again. As far as this day in history, on January 9th, 1493, Christopher Columbus, sailing what near is now the Dominican Republic, sees 3 mermaids. In reality, they were manatees. I don't know why that makes history, but it's on the list. 2007, Steve Jobs debuts the iPhone. If we only knew then what we know now. 1768, the modern circus is staged. (1913), Richard Nixon is born. Rocky Stallone starts filming Rocky in 1976 on this date. Thomas Paine's book Common Sense was published today on January 9th, 1776. A couple of cool birthdays in music. 1941, Joan Baez was born today. Happy birthday, Joan. 1944, our good friend and guitarist Jimmy Page was born on this day. I can't say enough. Don't know what else to say, actually. Crystal Gale, it's her birthday today. Don't it make your brown eyes blue, Crystal Gale? It's Dave Matthews' birthday today. He was born in 1967. Dave Matthews. That's 1976. Queen was number 1 on the UK singles chart with Bohemian Rhapsody on this day. Remember when that song came out, everybody was crazy about it. You either loved it or you hated it. One of the two. So that's going to do it for the market reflection today. Got suggestions about how I can make this better? I'd really appreciate it. Jay Hoagland, JHOAGLAND at topstep.com. Looking forward to seeing you all again tomorrow morning for the market forecast. And then we've got right after that, or the market prep, I should say. Right after that, we've got Make Hoag Money. I got a new furnace today. You guys got to make me some money. So I'll look forward to seeing you all then. Until then, have a good night. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Say a prayer for peace. And if you're trading tonight, make sure you keep your powder dry. Some opportunities perhaps are going to present themselves tomorrow. Have a great night.